good evening. Rani Sahib has joined us online. We'll just wait for a couple of more minutes before I can introduce her. Hello Rushina. Hi Ashu. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. We'll just give it a couple of minutes and then we'll begin. Am I audible? Can somebody just let me know in the comments? Can you hear me? Am I clear? Hello Smiley, good evening. Thank you for making time to be live with me. Hello Pooja. Thank you. I think we'll begin now. Yes, okay, Smiley, lovely. So you can all hear me, so I'll start. So good evening. I'm really excited. About who I'm going to be conversing with today. As you all know, we're speaking to Rani Sahib of Jastan. And the first time I saw Rani Sahib was on a television program. I think it was called Royal Reservations, and it aired on NDTV Good Times. And she was walking us through Lakshmi Vilas Palace in Baroda, where she grew up. And I remember being so struck by her beauty and her elegance and how well she spoke. And of course, subsequently thereafter, one saw a lot of pictures of Rani Sahib in the magazines and periodicals. And one particular photo shoot, I think it was with the Hello magazine, in Sabyasachi. They were just drop dead gorgeous. And more recently, Rani Sahib did an interview which is on her Instagram page. So I recommend everyone to go hear it, which made me realize that there's so much more to Rani Sahib than just the beauty and the fact that she's a princess of Baroda and the queen of Jastan. She's had a long-standing, absolutely brilliant career as an educationist. In fact, she still continues to teach, and that just inspired me so much. Apart from that, she's also been the ex-vice principal of the Rajkumar College in Rajkot, and she's a committee member of the Home Science Association in India, among other things. She's also a philanthropist, and she's a part of many welfare projects in Jastan, be it women empowerment and education and welfare of children and the environment. And apart from all this, she's also an avid traveler and a trained Bharatanatyam dancer and choreographer. So there are so many interesting facets to Rani Sahib. It's my absolute honor, and I'm absolutely delighted to have her make time and converse with us today evening. So I'm very excited. Thank you so much. And I must say thank you to her son Shivraj, who's made this conversation possible. So thank you, and I hope you all will stay with us during this live. We're going to be asking Rani Sahib a lot about her food memories and the food she was surrounded with growing up and beyond. Okay, so I'll just make Rani Sahib join our live conversation. We're just waiting for her to join us. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Rani Sahib. How are you? It's such a pleasure to have you online with us.
Thank you, Aditi.
It's such a beautiful setting. I've seen so many lovely photographs of Jastan Palace. You know, it's so grand and opulent, and we've all seen images of the bead room, and you know, it's so much heritage that you come from. So this is going to be a very interesting conversation for all of us who are watching. And thank you again for making time and doing this with me. Thank you.
Thank you much for having me, Aditi.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure all the way. So I must tell you that on the Nanima project, as everybody who's viewing also knows, we gather food memories, and we talk about especially food memories associated with our mothers and grandmothers. And you very kindly shared the Kathiawadi Hariso, and you shared a beautiful picture with us. And till date, it's my most popular and most viewed story on the page, you know. So I knew bringing you online would be of interest to so many of us. So thank you again. And we'll start from the start. So let's start from your childhood. So please
Let
tell us about your growing up years.
let me start thanking you first for that food memory, because
Oh,
raised so much conversation in the house as well, and we
really?
also know it, like we got thinking yes, food is such an important thing, for a girl when she gets married, and
Yes.
over the years one kind of loses the memory, so it was a real treat to get back to it. And so between me and my mother-in-law, we had quite an interesting day trying to think of the food memory and funny things about
How,
it and all, you know.
how
So thank you.
sweet. I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you. Food is central to my existence. So it was lovely. It was a beautiful read what you shared with us. And so let's start. And you can tell us about the food you enjoyed in your childhood or your growing up years, and how your parents influenced your food preferences, your grandmothers, paternal, maternal.
So the thing was, actually, we are three siblings. So my
Okay.
brother and myself. So amongst us, I'm the worst at food. They are both foodies. So perhaps for you, you've got the wrong person for this interview.
No, no, no. I'm sure you're
Um,
the right person. I'm sure you still remember things.
Yes, so like food was a very important part of the Baroda heritage and culture, for us. Like there were, of
Yes.
course, some ceremonies and festivals where there would be fixed menus, but
Mm-hmm.
the everyday normal food was always very royal and very rich compared to, I'm sure, like normal food in other people's houses. We
Yes.
used to have, when I was very little, we used to have a chef who was trained by my grandfather, Pratap Singh Gaikwad.
Ji.
So he had traveled with my grandfather all over the world. So
Wow.
whenever so he would always have some stories to tell us. And
How nice.
under him, there used to be two chefs who were like, one used to cook Indian food and one would do Western food.
Oh, how nice.
And but of course, Govind Rao, who was the senior chef, he didn't like children coming into the kitchen and asking questions or picking food or things like that. So we were
Oh
always
my.
pushed out of the kitchen, that way. That's when we were very young, and
Okay.
so like us to do that. And in our kitchen, in our house, we used to have four kitchens on a
Oh
daily
wow.
basis. Four kitchens. Um, so when so many people have a problem with one managing one kitchen, here we used to have like four, and the
Oh
kitchens,
my.
there used to be a separate Western kitchen. There used to be an Indian kitchen, and then there would be a servants, a staff kitchen, and then
Okay.
there would be a separate kitchen for us to cook, like for the family to cook. So that
Oh,
was, yes. So that is called
how
a khas,
interesting.
and
Casket. Okay.
khas kitchen. And the whole food
Lovely.
thing was a whole department which used to be like from the morning. They would plan the menu the day before, and
Wow.
even on the table there would be a menu card with the
Oh,
menu.
how
So when you
nice.
table, the menu was always there, in a
Wow.
silver frame and everything. And
Oh wow.
yes, and the morning food, lunch would be always Indian,
Okay.
Indian, like but the Maharashtrian cuisine, the Maratha cuisine with
Right.
one curry, two vegetables, and something fried or something like that. Then of course there would be parathas and rotis, and so, but of course, so that was the full menu which used to be there. And
Oh, wow.
grandmother, that is my dadi ma, was not
Yeah.
was not a very good cook, and she was not very keen on cooking. But actually, it was the men in the house who have always been the cooks, and
Oh
interest
wow, how nice.
in cooking, you know. So
Yes.
it was my father, of course, was always very keen that we cook something, and so even if it was a simple aloo ki sabji, he used to encourage us to do that, you know. And
Wow.
so my cooking experience would be like making puris and aloo ki sabji, and that
Oh,
would
how
be
nice.
Khas kitchen. So I would go with like at least two maids with me, and I would stand there, and they would do most of it, and I would just stir a
How
little
sweet.
bit, you know, everything
How
like
sweet.
that,
How
and
sweet.
cut the puris or fry the puris and things like that. And then my father would be very happy with that, that we have made some food, you know, for him. So
How sweet.
that. But of course, the Baroda family, I mean, as a kitchen, we used to eat a lot of Western food, a lot of food from all over the world. Since
Right.
my grandmother had trained the cook, yes. We had recipes
Oh,
which were mastered by the men in the house actually, and then they were taught to the cooks and the chefs. So there were like their meat recipes which are called um, mutton a la Baroda.
oh, how
And
nice. Yes, I know you have special dishes which are specific to the Baroda royal home.
yes,
How
yes.
nice. So, does with every generation, I know that, you know, maybe your grandmothers were from different Maratha royal families and with daughters-in-law that came in. Does the food evolve also? Have you seen it evolve in your lifetime?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It evolves a
Okay.
lot. Um, with changing times, things
Okay.
change. And
Mm-hmm.
I also remember the vessels, you know, there used to be such huge vessels in Baroda
Yes.
that they cook in. And
Uh-huh.
actually, when I was married and when I went back to Baroda, the first or second visit, uh, when I was expecting my children and I was there for longer time. So I saw
Yes.
these cooks, you know, cooking, and I realized that they were so uncomfortable cooking in these big, big vessels. And then by the time the number of people in the house had also reduced. So
Reduced.
I remember, you know, actually buying vessels for them. We didn't even have a
Yes.
pressure cooker in the house.
Oh
So
my.
I even,
Everything was slow cooked.
yes, everything was
Oh
cooked in
nice.
the patelas, you know, in the tapelas and all
Yes.
that, the big.
Yes.
So there was no
How
pressure
nice.
cooker. There was no mixie. Can you
Oh
imagine?
my. No, I can't imagine my life without my uh, gadgets in the kitchen. So,
These
yes, but of
basic.
course, the food, but it's supposed to add a lot of flavor, you know, grinding food and using the silbatta. It's supposed to just be very, very different. So,
There was a special man
convenience
who,
in its place.
there was to be a special man only to use the silbatta, and
Yes.
he was known as the khatpati, you know.
Khatpati.
So
Okay. In the north, we call them masalchi. So, my grandmother tells me that they used to do a morning fairy, you know, so they used to go to everybody's houses and people used to keep their masalas ready. So, you know, turn by turn. It was not possible for us to employ someone just for sirbatta, but he used to move around and he was called a masalchi. So that's really fantastic. And let's go a little further. After your childhood, I know you've attended Ramney, and tell us about your boarding school years.
boarding school, actually, as I told you earlier, I was not very fussy on food, even as a
Okay.
child,
Uh-huh.
compared to my siblings. I used to eat everything, so food was not a very important component, fortunately for me, in my
Oh,
thing. So
wow.
I just to the boarding school food, and
Uh-huh.
in a convent, it's not at all like the public schools, and it's, I think for today's children what we ate is quite unthinkable, you know. We never got rotis there, basically.
Oh, lovely. So there must have been German nuns at the time in
Yes,
Nainital?
dish.
German and Irish. Yes.
Yes. So
Okay.
I think they were okay with other girls learned how to eat food, like there used to be cutlets and there used to be things like that. But for me, because I was already had this Western food in the house and I was used to it, it was not such
Yes.
a change, you know. I was used to eating things like this in the at home, so it wasn't such a big change. But of course, one misses food in school when one is there, and the best
Yes.
food one has are over your night feasts. Chori kiya.
Yes. Big night feast. Ah. So tell us about that.
Now I feel it's like it's absolutely unthinkable things we did. Like we would get food and we would store it, and then God knows how we would eat it like so many hours later. What condition that
Oh
food
my.
must be. But
Yeah.
we
But
used to still enjoy it, you know. And newspaper
yes.
में पूरा बांध के रखा हुआ खाना which is kept in the cupboards with clothes and everything. I don't know how we used to manage it. And then in the night, somebody would say, okay, then wake up and then eat it in sitting outside the bathrooms and eating it. It was like
How
really,
sweet. How
but
sweet. And also for any boarding school student, what you bring back from home is so important because that's what you enjoy at tough time. So what did you carry back from Baroda?
um, my food from Baroda used to have always have the pickles, the Gujarati
Okay.
pickles.
Okay.
Yes, to carry chunda and pickle with me because that would add to the rice and dal of the school, you know. So I could add it and
Uh-huh.
everybody else would enjoy it. Um,
Wow.
what I remember is my mother used to pack because we didn't have so much plastic packing in those days. So she used to pack it in glass bottles,
Yes.
and
Yes.
these glass bottles would be wrapped in lots of newspaper and then packed, you know, in boxes. So
Yes.
I remember keeping those newspapers because they used to be written in Gujarati, and
Oh, how
keeping
sweet.
my drawer for a whole year so I could read Gujarati, because otherwise in Nainital I would lose touch with Gujarati, you know. And I think that's how I kept in touch with reading Gujarati.
Yes, how nice, how nice. And tell us, did you enjoy any of the Kumaoni delicacies? Did you take a fondness to bal mithai or the
So
famous bakery houses
I love bal mithai.
around? You love bal
That's
mithai.
me, yeah. And my nani actually, she's a Pahadi. So
Oh,
she
really?
was,
How interesting.
yes, yes. My nani is a Pahadi. So she was very well versed in all the Kumaoni mithais and everything. So yes, bal mithai and the ram laddus that we used to get in Nainital, you know, which were
Yes,
those red
yes,
laddus. So
yes.
those were hot favorites with
How
me, like
nice,
whenever.
how
So
nice.
yeah,
I'm sure you're craving some right now. It always happens. I'm sure you've thought of all these things after many, many years.
yes,
But Nainital is beautiful. So I'm sure all in all, it was a fabulous experience even at the hostel, right?
yes, yes. I enjoyed my hostel years.
You
Most
enjoyed them.
people didn't don't enjoy, but I did enjoy my school years
You
very much.
enjoyed it. How nice. How nice to hear that. And let's move forward now. When you got married and came to Justin, was it a big change in terms of cuisine? Did it is it
It
vastly different? They're both
was, was
Maratha
different.
was
It
different.
was it was different, and
Okay.
here involvement of the family was much more, you know, physical
Oh,
involvement, like compared to what we, as I said, we were involved in Baroda.
yes.
So there it was kind of just filling in the books and ordering the food, you know, and
Wow.
of thing. But here it was actually making it sometimes getting the ingredients ready or whatever, like thing. My
Okay.
first experience, I remember, of course, the first morning I woke up and I stood in
Mhm.
front of the gas, and because I had to make my tea.
Oh.
and I didn't know how to light this gas, with the matches. Didn't light up,
Oh,
and
oh
I was
wow.
scared. So that is a very vivid memory. And then, of course, my husband lit the gas for me, um,
Oh, how
and then
sweet.
that's, I think,
How
the
sweet.
first.
How
That's how I
sweet.
my tea.
How
Yes.
sweet. Yes. And tell us about the food in Justan. What is the food in the Justan royal family like?
So we have a lot of Kathiawadi food, which is
Right.
Kathiawadi cuisine is supposed to be something that is really craved for by at least the Gujarati people, and it's
Okay.
not sweet. Like
Sorry, it's
Gujarati
not.
food is sweet
Okay, it's not sweet. Yes. Kathiawadi food is, yes,
is not,
spicy.
it's
Yes.
spicy. And like Gujarati people usually put a little bit of sugar or gur in everything. So there is a thing like all Gujarati food is sweet, but our
Yes.
side of Gujarat, Kathiawadi food is not sweet.
All
Um,
right.
and they use a lot of chane ka atta, because
Right.
part of the world is a water scarcity area. So vegetables, I presume, were not available, so many years ago. So the
Yes.
cuisine has evolved, has been mainly around pulses and dals and all that. So they
Mm-hmm.
use a lot of chane ka atta like Rajasthan, um,
Right.
that way. So we have like gatte ka saag you have in Rajasthan. So we have this dhokri. Um,
Okay.
dhokri.
I've only heard of dal dhokri, but dhokri must be different. It's different
It's
from that.
yes.
It's different from that. Okay. Okay.
Dhokri is made
So now,
connect.
chane ka atta. So what is your, I'll ask you about Baroda first, since that came first. What is your most favorite uh, dish to eat from back home in Baroda? What is
Uh,
the one thing that stands out?
I like. I love prawns, so
You
I
love
like.
prawns.
Yes, so I like prawn pickle from the
Oh, how nice.
Baroda. Yes, and but I have a sweet tooth, and
Okay.
in that I like a dish called the Nane Akbari, which is like a
All
sweet
right.
dish. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
which is
And please
quite a.
describe it for us. It sounds so fascinating. Can you tell us a little more about Nani Akbari?
So Nane Akbari is made with bread,
Okay.
very slices of bread, and
Uh-huh.
like which is first fried in ghee,
All right.
and you put milk and kind of boil the milk
Uh-huh.
with butter and everything in it. So the milk gets thickened, and it the bread soaks up the mm,
Yes.
milk, and then you put it into the chasni like a gulab, like you put the gulab jambus into the chasni. You put this bread into the
Oh, wow.
chasni, or you put the chasni over.
Okay.
And with, of course, the silver work and the elaichi and all that. So
Wow, that sounds amazing. That
it's
sounds
very,
very, very nice.
it's
I'm
a
sure it is.
it's a very Mughal dish, and
Uh-huh.
it goes very well with biryani.
Oh,
When
wow.
biryani, it goes well with it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm sure
Yes.
everyone who's listening to us is craving Naan Akbari and biryani tonight. Yeah. So now tell me about the food in Just. What is your most favorite thing that you were introduced to, after you were married into Justin? What is the one thing you really enjoy? Uh,
So the Jastan, because I then didn't like so much of the atta, the chane ka atta thing, but I like the curd, the base, the curry made from curd. So there's a very beautiful recipe. It's called chhata nu shak. So
chata
chhatas,
nusha.
the rain. So when the first rain is there, you take a thali with the atta and take it out into the rain drops.
Wow, that is so fabulous.
Yeah, and I just love that whole thing, because when the raindrops fall in your thali, the atta starts to become like balls. they start becoming into those little balls with every drop.
Yes.
So these balls are then collected and kind of, made a bit even and then made into a curry.
Wow. So this is done with every first rainfall?
Yes. Now, of course, if you want to make it one day, then you can just kind of splash a little
Sprinkle
water or
water.
do that. But the
And what atta is used? It's chane ka
the
atta?
no, the gehu
It's
ka atta.
wheat flour.
Wheat,
Wheat
wheat.
flour. How fascinating. I have never heard of anything like this before. It's spectacular. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And now we'll move on to you, since we've spoken about Baroda and Jastan. What is the cuisine you most enjoy? Since you enjoy traveling, what is the one destination that you love going to, and what is the cuisine you enjoy eating there?
So the good thing that I think, because my parents always made sure that we tried everything, we tried all food and never turned up our nose to anything.
Yes,
So I think it helped me a lot, because whenever I travel uh, to countries which are the food is very different.
yes.
Um, Helps kind of to try. So one such country would be Japan.
Oh,
So
okay.
when Japan, I actually took a group of students. Um, took a group of students and I went to Japan. And
Yes,
you'd be surprised, but in my interview, because we were like four teachers from all over India who actually were selected to go,
yes.
and there were 48 students from all over India who were selected to go. And we went in 2013, 2012. And that time, the questions they asked me for the interview were all related to food,
Oh, how
you know.
nice.
So they were surprised that somebody from a small place, they said, "Will you eat seafood?" So I said, "Yes, I love seafood." So they said,
Yes,
"But you are not going to get masale wala, with all the masalas and all that. So you are
yes,
going to get food which is very bland. Will you eat that?" So I said, "Yes, I will eat that also. I don't mind eating." So they were quite surprised, that somebody from a small town um,
hmm,
could have a very open mind about eating this kind of food and everything. So it really helped me, and I enjoyed the Japanese food a lot. Um,
okay.
yeah. So I stayed with families and I learned to cook Japanese food as well, and
Oh, how
used,
interesting.
yes, they in fact, I was living with another teacher there who was much older than me, and then she taught me how to cook with the chopsticks, how to remove things from the frying pan, their
Oh, how
tempura, and
nice. How
yes,
nice. Such an important skill and so hard to master, but I'm sure you managed in your time there. Managed
yes,
to
yes.
learn to do that. How sweet. So, what is your favorite world cuisine then? What do you enjoy most?
So I like, yes, I do like Japanese food.
You like Japanese food.
Like
Okay, that's interesting. So, do you cook some of it? Because I don't think it's very popular. I mean, not too many restaurants that serve Japanese fare in India yet.
And it's difficult to get the ingredients also.
Source ingredients. That's right.
Yes, so
Okay.
it's
So
tough.
maybe a
But
trip to Japan in the future then.
yes, no, and I enjoy other cuisine as well, like whether it's little French, the cheese. I like different cheeses, even if they have
Actually.
strong flavors,
Uh-huh.
and easily available now. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and I love experimenting with food. Like you make pancakes, but usme you add some other flavor to it or something like that with whatever is available in the kitchen. So
How sweet. How
that's
nice. Yes. And now moving on, since you're a mother to two lovely boys, have they been fussy eaters?
fortunately not. In fact, it's
Fortunately not.
the other way around, because I was a fussy eater to start with.
Okay.
And so, but and I wasn't a fussy eater in the sense. I was more fruits and vegetables and things like that. But boys need a lot of food, you know, through the growing, need lots.
Okay. Okay.
And so, yes, so I really had to fall in love with my kitchen when my boys were
Oh,
growing.
really?
So that,
Really? And what did they enjoy eating? What did they insist? What do they still insist that only mommy can make this and nobody else? What is that? What do both of them like that only you make for them?
uh, I think they enjoy my burgers.
Oh, how sweet.
What, so because every time the burger has some different filling or some different taste, and I try to improvise on them, but they need a lot in quantity. It has to be, so food was a very important like growing years.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. And do you enjoy cooking at this, current day? Do you enjoy spending time in the kitchen, or is that something you'd rather not do?
No, I enjoy cooking, and I find it very relaxing. And fortunately for me, my son has created a wonderful kitchen for me. Mm,
Oh,
Maybe
how
we should
nice.
interview sitting there in the kitchen.
Yes,
Uh,
next time we'll do our next live and you can show us. Please tell us about the kitchen though.
Really, made a kitchen, and he's put a board on it which says "Mom's Kitchen," and
How sweet.
it's he's put so much of himself into it, and he has put so much thoughtfulness for me in the kitchen, that the kitchen has actually now become a very happy place, where we all
Okay.
like to go, even if it's for a glass of water. So
How sweet.
very
That's very
every
important.
convenient, at the same time it's a very oh, I really have, now I'm thinking I should have really sat in the kitchen and done this interview. It's such a,
Don't worry, Rani Sahib. We'll do another live with you very soon. So
and
don't,
yes, and
very,
it's
very soon.
like a lot of art pieces, and we've got a lot of pictures and art pieces in the
Kitchen?
kitchen. So it's so
How sweet.
interesting.
How
Of
sweet.
course,
Yes.
music and everything, and then I can cook,
Wow. How
So,
nice. How nice. That sounds very, very, very special. How sweet of your boys to do that for you. That's really interesting. So, uh, that brings us to the end of this conversation. But I'm extracting a promise from you that you will do another live with us in your kitchen next time. And
yeah,
it was absolutely so fabulous having this conversation with you. Thank you for giving us this time and thank you for sharing these lovely stories with us. And you are so down to earth and wonderful, just as I imagined after seeing your interview with the radio station, which is on Instagram. So
yes,
thank you. It's been a great honor for you to do this with me, and we'll all wait to see you in your kitchen next time. Yes?
yes. Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you
Aditi.
so much. Thank you, Rani Sahib. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. Bye. See you.